fully grasp the profound transformation that Islam affected in elevating the status of women, it is necessary to examine the historical context of the Arabian Peninsula some 14 centuries ago. This era, commonly referred to as Jahaliyah or the Age of Ignorance, was marked not merely by the deficiency in intellectual or scholarly knowledge, but more critically by a profound absence of ethical and humanistic values. Within that social milieu, the birth of a female child was commonly regarded as a portent of misfortune and a source of profound shame. In some instances, this sentiment culminated in a practice of female infanticide, whereby newborn daughters were buried alive out of fear of poverty or social disgrace. The Quran poignantly captures this tragedy, and when one of them is informed of the birth of a female, his face becomes dark and he suppresses his grief. Women were denied the right of inheritance, and in certain cases were themselves treated as inheritable property, upon the death of their husband. Deprived of both financial and legal autonomy, their existence was largely circumscribed by the expectation of serving man and producing male offspring. Then came Islam, not as a set of gradual reforms, but as a sweeping moral revolution that restored to women their full dignity and humanity. First, Islam established the spiritual autonomy of women. The Quran addressed them as moral, accountable individuals, responsible for their own faith and deeds before Allah in the same manner as a man. No longer was she deemed spiritually subordinate to her father or husband. This spiritual recognition of independence constituted the cornerstone upon which all her subsequent rights were built. Second, Islam conferred upon women the right to economic autonomy. For the first time in the history of the Arabs, women were granted a legal mandate entitled to inheritance. They were accorded the right to acquire, possess, dispose of, and administer their own wealth independently without the oversight or guardianship of any male relative. Allah the Exalted said, "For man is a share of what they have earned, and for woman is a share of what they have earned." Third, Islam affirmed the woman's social independence. It categorically prohibited the practice of female infanticide, denouncing it as a heinous crime. It further made her education a right and even a duty. Moreover, it established her right to freely choose her spouse and to decline any proposed marriage she did not consent to. This elevation of women's status was not confined to theoretical doctrine. Rather, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ amplified it in his own conduct. His first wife, Khadijah, a prominent and prosperous merchant, was the earliest to embrace his message and offered steadfast support through both her wealth and counsel. Likewise, during one of the most challenging political episodes, the Treaty of al-Hudaybiyah, the decisive advice of his wife Salma proved pivotal in resolving the crisis. Throughout his life, women were recognized as full partners, endowed with independence, judgment, social standing, and significant influence. The transformation from a society that once sanctioned the burial of infant daughters to one in which women were consultants on matters affecting the destiny of the Ummah constitutes a profound civilizational advance. Islam emancipated women from the status of mere property, affirming their dignity as honored human beings and recognizing them as active partners in the construction of the family, the broader society, and a civilization as a whole. Are you searching for a vision that restores to women their dignity and their true role? Let us engage in dialogue about this profound legacy.
Salam Center for Advocacy and Dialogue.